Hi guys, I just want to say thank you very much for your willingness to help with this course. We are going to be developing it this summer and it is the 7th grade life science. I've laid out parts of the modules, but I just wanted to go through a few things for linking and how to do a couple of the tests so that if you had questions, we could go over that. First off, let me say that if you go to the modules on the left-hand side menu, once you get in the Canvas shell, you'll see an orientation area here. And in this orientation, on the first page, is a Canvas guide, and here's a tutorial. If you're not familiar with Canvas, I suggest that you just take a look at this and it'll walk you through some of the finer points of using Canvas. It's not hard, but if you're not familiar with it, it's just a little bit different. Currently, I've set up the orientation. I've set up all 16 of the modules, and I think I just have 2 areas per module. I'm working on the 3rd page and we'll get to the 4th page later. A couple things to keep in mind when we're looking at this are we need to put in the competencies here. I have them for some, but I don't have them for others. For instance, if you look here, it says standard 4 and 5B, but I don't have listed what those standards are. I do have a guide, and I'll share the documentation with you so that you can copy and paste it, and I'll divvy up the assignments tonight. I'm almost finished with that. Also, we are going to be creating a module guide per unit, so there's going to be 16 of them. We have a pre-quiz, we have some sort of video and PowerPoint, and I have a lot of information from the instructor, but I don't have it all sorted. So I may just give you access to the repository, and then you guys will come up with a template, and then you guys will go ahead and put it in that template, the pieces that you like of it that go along with the standards. We're going to need to get vocabulary. We're going to have to come up with some sort of quiz, make a discussion, and an activity. I don't know if we want to call it an activity or a lab. I was trying to look at that today, but I think basically all of them have a lab. So we may be going a little bit overboard if we do an activity and a lab. We'll have to look at that. And then on the next page here, we're going to have to put in lesson objectives. I don't have those all, but obviously if we're dealing with respiration, heart, and body systems, we would want to, by the end of the session, students will be able to define respiration, locate, and I don't know, analyze heart functions or something like that. We'll have to come up with those. Another thing too is linking. If you look here, I have this linked incorrectly. If you hover over it, it says it goes to Module 1 pre-quiz, so we're going to have to change that. In order to do so, you have to come up to the top and click Edit. Once you've done that, you will highlight this area, and depending how large you have the screen, it'll either show up here or mine's on the bottom. You'll come down to Quizzes. We want to connect it to Module 16 Pre-Quiz. Click on that, and then scroll up to Save. Once you've done that, if you've done it correctly and hover over it, now it shows Module 16 Pre-Quiz. These should not have anything in them, so if you click on them, it should just say about blank. Yes, that's correct. So we'll have to come up with vocabulary words, and we will go ahead and put those in files. If you come to the left-hand side under Files, I have for each module. So as we're creating items, you will go to Files and then choose the module that we're working on, and then we will go ahead and put the items in there, the vocabulary, the guides, etc. I think Module 1 is basically the only one that has anything. It has a scientific method lesson, activities, and vocabulary. So if you go to Module 1, and we go to the scientific method and measurement, we can go ahead and insert the vocabulary here. Again, you would come up to the top, hit Edit, highlight this area. If it is not already hyperlinked, here it shows remove the link when I've clicked on it. If it is not, you'd have to link it, hit OK, and then go down to the bottom or to the side, depending how you have your screen. I want to then go to Files, I want to go to Module 1, and I want to hit Vocabulary. Then I click Save. Once I've done this, it should show me a preview as well as the download. If you click on the preview, it should show you the words for that lesson. Should being the operative. Here they are. And this one is messed up, so we will fix that. Click on Edit. Doesn't look like it is, but the link is obviously broken. So we will break the link. You'll notice that when I click off of it, it's no longer blue. We'll hyperlink it, hit OK, insert link. And then when we find study guide questions, they would be in Files, Module 1, and we can just, for the time being, we'll just stick in this activity. And then click Save, and then it should show a preview as well as the actual document. So here's the preview and the actual document. Let me know if you have any questions about that. The other thing I want to stress are the quizzes. We're going to be using test banks. The way to get to test banks are you go to Quizzes and then Manage Quiz Banks. And you'll notice, excuse me, you'll notice for number 1, I have 11 questions in here already. In order to add the questions, you come down to the bottom or the side, depending how your screen is configured, hit Add Question. Make certain always here where it says question, put something like Module 1, M1, and then P for pre-quiz or E for essay, something like that. You're going to choose what kind of type of question you want. There are many different kinds. We're usually using essay, multiple choice, true, false. There are a couple fill in the blanks that we've used before, and you can also use matching. Go ahead and do that, and then you will see this here. Then once you've entered your question, you'll go ahead and update question. If you don't wish to, you can click undo or whatever. And let's take a look at the quiz that this is associated with. That's Module 1. So all the pre-quizzes are already done, so you go to Questions and you'll create the test bank. So basically I have Module 1 pre-quiz. It's choosing 5 questions and they're 1 point per question, and the questions are pulled from Module 1 bank. If you wanted to change it to 6 questions or 2 points apiece, you could do that here as well. If you have any questions, go back to modules, and this sort of shows you how everything is laid out. I will add more to it. If you need to add a 3rd page to here, to the Module 2, you would click on the plus. You would decide if it's an assignment, a quiz, a file, what kind of page it is. I've been using content pages and using links. And then you would click New Page unless you see something there already. You could call it Module 2 Exercises. Would help if I could type. This is not published. It does not have a green check, but you can simply check on it and it is published, and then it's visible. Otherwise, it's just a placeholder. When you come in here, you can add information. And then you can go to the bottom and save it. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to email me at any time, and I appreciate your help, and I'm looking forward to this. Thanks.